Hey guys, just wanted to do this video here. I want you to check this out. Take a look at this. You see, you got to really pay attention to what you're looking at. On the left is Cotto before his Mayorga fight. He's not flexing or anything, he's just chilling. Look at the guy. On the left, or the right I mean, before the Pacquiao fight after the weigh-in. He's kind of curled on his side like the bodybuilders, and he's flexing his muscles, but Pacquiao looks bigger than him, even though Pacquiao was the one moving up in weight. Kind of strange there. And let's compare here. Let's look at it differently. The guy on the right is the guy Mayweather's going to face in May. Okay, that's the Yuri Foreman fight, which Cotto has actually gotten a little bigger even since then. And on the left is Cotto in the Cotto fight. It wasn't even at a catch weight. And look at Cotto's condition. Look at how pale his skin is compared to the Cotto to the right. Look at his thighs. Look at his legs. Look at the muscles in his legs. Just look at him. He's just a completely different fighter. He's healthier at this weight. Look at him at the left. This is without a catch weight. Mind-boggling once you look at it. And then this is De La Hoya. Now this one's even more noticeable. Look at the De La Hoya to the right, and look at the De La Hoya to the left. The De La Hoya to the right was a monster. Okay, there's some boxing writers out there that said Mayweather just took a quote-unquote easy fight. I don't buy it. You see what De La Hoya did to Mayorga? Okay, he destroyed Mayorga better than Mosley did. He did it better than Cotto did. I mean, he just dismantled him, and it was a better version of Mayorga. You know, Mayorga was a little fresher than he was after De La Hoya was done with him. But just look at like the abs, for example. Look at the arms. Just look at him. He's just in much better shape. And then this is at the weigh-in. The day after the fight, De La Hoya rehydrated. He was a beast, and he was, almost close to a super middleweight when he fought Floyd Mayweather. Look at that. Look at De La Hoya posing at the Mayweather fight. Posing and flexing his muscles there. And you could tell by his hairstyle there that's the Mayweather fight. Look at the condition he's in. He was a full-fledged 154-pounder at that point. Of course, it wasn't exactly a prime De La Hoya, but he was still a very good fighter. And then to the right is a completely drained fighter. When he's not flexing, you could notice how he doesn't have muscle mass. He's just completely drained. It's just a completely different fighter. You cannot argue something like this. This is not up for debate. It's just, you're looking at it. Okay? And I'm going to get to my point in a moment. Before anybody says I'm just trying to go in on Pacquiao or something. It's not really about that. Look at De La Hoya to the left. This is De La Hoya in his prime. This was before the Trinidad fight at the weigh-ins. Not really flexing. Look at the condition he's in. This was his prime at 147. Look at to the right, flexing at the weigh-ins. Completely drained. Just look at him for the fight with Pacquiao. Just wasn't all there. He just wasn't. You could just tell. Look at the difference. It's pretty evident. To me, it's evidence anyway. And anyway, this is my point, and it goes back to the reason I'm making this is to sort of make a case for the Mayweather Cotto fight, and you're looking at it here. Point. What point am I making? The point I'm making is, let's put a hypothetical and just be honest with yourself. De La Hoya, you saw the pictures that fought Mayweather, for example, and the De La Hoya that fought Pacquiao. You put them in the ring Saturday night after those weigh-ins. Who wins? Obviously, the one at 154 destroys the one that fought Pacquiao. He would destroy him. Wouldn't even belong in the ring with him. Cotto. Take Cotto at 154 right now versus Cotto that fought Pacquiao. I have to favor the one that fought Pacquiao. Now, it's not as obvious with Cotto as it is with De La Hoya. Don't get me wrong. Cotto was definitely in better shape at welterweight than De La Hoya was, but you just can't ignore that there was a catchweight in that fight. So it's pretty fair to say that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is facing a better version of Miguel Cotto, a healthier one, than Pacquiao did. That's just the way I feel. You know, I just believe that Cotto's in better condition in this weight, and there's just factors you can't ignore, like the fact that Mayweather is going to move up. The fact that when Mayweather moved up against De La Hoya, even though he won the fight, he clearly won that fight, but he did lose like 4 rounds, in my opinion. It was a 8-4 fight, but you know it was competitive even in rounds that Mayweather won, especially in the first half of the fight. Mayweather's nose was bleeding from the jab De La Hoya was throwing. I mean, there was a fight in there. In the post-fight press conference, you know, you could even tell Mayweather's eyebrows were swelling up a little bit, so which was probably due to that left hook De La Hoya landed at the very end of the fight, but still. I believe Mayweather's going to clearly win this fight. I think it's going to be pretty clear he's the winner. Whether it's late stoppage or decision, he will win this fight, I believe. But you just can't rule out the fight or call it a stupid fight simply because, you know, Cotto lost to Pacquiao. First of all, Pacquiao and Mayweather are 2 completely different styles. So you can't really draw much of that. So we know the style Pacquiao could beat Cotto. Now let's see if Mayweather could do it in his own way. Mayweather's not going to try and beat Cotto the way Pacquiao did or Margarito did. He's going to try and beat him the Mayweather way. You know, being defensive, doing his counter-punching, doing that defensive wizardness that he does. Is wizardness a word? I have no clue. It's late. But look, there's just a complete difference here. Also, Cotto had no trainer when he fought Pacquiao. This is not, you just can't ignore this. He was coming off a tough fight with Clottey. He had an ugly cut. I believe the fight was, in June? He had to fight Pacquiao in November. So he didn't have much time to really recover, you know, from that cut and from that tough fight he had. Because remember, he did get that ugly cut, that gash across his face, where he was fighting with blurred vision for the remainder of that fight. And it gave Clottey the ability to land more punches than he probably wouldn't have. And it made the fight pretty close. Some even feel Clottey won, but you know, it just can't ignore that it was a tough fight for Cotto. He was just recently coming off the Margarito beating. More likely, it was done with plaster. So now I believe he moved up in weight. I believe Mayweather's going to win the fight. I just believe Cotto is a better fighter right now than he was when he fought Pacquiao. That's just the way I feel. Could I be wrong? You know, well, give me a case. Present a case for me. If you give me a better explanation or something, then I'll have to go with that. But till then, this is the way I feel. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? If you can't see a difference there, like if you're that delusional, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but I mean, it really is what it is. Again, that was a Clottey fight. This wasn't even a catch weight. I couldn't really find a picture of the Pacquiao weigh-in, but you know, didn't have time. But it is what it is. I'm out. Now, let me just say this: that there's an argument for everything, and you can make a case in any which way. You really can. Because for every argument, there's a counter argument. I understand that. And there is an argument on the other side. The argument of, you know, he's not the same after the Margarito beating. He's not the same after the Pacquiao beating. I agree with that. But believe me, I do. But But there's also positives. Like, for example, I believe a lot of that is offset by the fact that he's in his new weight. And Mayweather not being a natural 154-pounder, I don't think Mayweather walks at 154 pounds. So, much less weigh in at that weight. So, that alone is already giving Cotto an advantage. And my only point is, it's very rare that you see a fighter who is the mega attraction in the sport give a champion or a contender, what have you, any form of an advantage. And I just believe Mayweather, being the favorite that he's going to be, okay, giving Cotto this advantage, not only is it the right thing to do, it's very honorable. I believe makes the fight interesting. Because I'll tell you what, Cotto's a veteran. He's been under the lights. He's going to know deep down this is a huge fight for his legacy. And he doesn't even have to beat Mayweather. He just needs to put on a decent performance or good effort against Mayweather. And he knows that will be huge for his career. And that's going to be so motivational to Miguel Cotto. And I'm also a believer in style, so I just believe, you may think I'm crazy, but that there's a reason. Let me just put it to you this way. There's a reason Pacquiao will not fight Cotto at 154 pounds. Okay, and the debate is not whether Pacquiao could beat Cotto at 154. That's not the debate. The debate is, well, why won't he do it? Why not? Because there's only one explanation to it. Because it would be a much tougher fight for Manny Pacquiao. That's the only explanation. Could you give me a better explanation? I would like to hear it. Let's hear it. If you give me a better explanation, I'll go with that. Till then, I have to stick with that. I'm just the guy that likes to go with the best explanation. Give me a better explanation, and I'll go with that. I understand we're not in a world where there's just one explanation. There's rival explanations. We have to weigh both against each other. I contest that any other explanation flounders when confronted with all these facts I've given you today. I'm out, guys. Good night.